Hey, how you doing? I'm Steve Briscoe with the Hokkaido Motorcycle Challenge, and I am coming to you live from the beautiful state of Bavaria and the northern foothills of the Alps in the southern part of Germany. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, my time, wherever it is you're at. I wish you a good morning or a good afternoon or whatever it might be. Welcome to the Hokkaido Motorcycle Challenge webinar. We are going to try to answer as many questions as we can, keeping in mind we're not going to answer all of your questions. We will maintain the mystery and mystique of the challenge. It won't be any fun if we give you all the answers. It's up to you to find those answers on your own out on the open road. That's really part of the challenge. So we're going to get started here. Feel free to add your comments. Please, even if you have no comments, make a little gesture or something. Let me know you're here. And when we get to the end of this, we will answer all those questions that you post in the comments section. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, agenda. Quick intro. Sadly, we need to discuss COVID, our intent, terms and conditions, what you need to bring, U.S. fleet tracking, some submitted questions, tips and health concerns, and then our open question session. Here's our board. Beth, she is the boss. Annie is our legal officer. Junie, rider relations. Gary Barnes is going to be our safety and risk management officer this year. John is operations. Myself there, I am the logistical operations. And Eric Biscal is kind of the rally master this year, and he also manages merchandise. So, COVID. As of today, we have every intentions of going forward with the challenge. Obviously, there is a possibility, but very distinct, that it could be postponed until next year. But we'll keep you all posted. There is actually just a lot we don't know. Things are fluid now. Whether you go with the school of thought that it's all bogus or it's all hype, it's kind of irrelevant for us and Hokkaido because we are required to maintain legal standings with all of this. So we intend to abide by all state mandates for physical distancing while we're gathered together. There may be a requirement to do appointments for registration. If you get your appointment, please do not miss your appointment. If you miss your appointment, you might find yourself at the end of the line. And then we even discussed some staggered starting times on the morning of departure. But all of that's still kind of in the developmental stage. I'm not saying this will happen. I'm saying it may. So each state is different. We cannot guarantee the route will not be affected due to COVID and due to state's restrictions. We cannot guarantee that a state or a city, county, sheriff, whatever the case might be, will not write you a citation for some odd, obscure COVID restriction they have in place, curfews, riding through their town at 2 o'clock in the morning. We just don't know. So keep that in mind. We will keep you as informed as things progress. Our intent. I could talk to you about hours on what Hokkaido is, but the simple fact is Hokkaido is different for every rider. And if you're a new rider, you're scratching your head now and wondering what this is all about. Well, when you get to the finish line, you'll understand, and you're going to figure out that it means something to you. But it might mean something different to the guy that came in 5 minutes before you or 10 minutes after you. So I'm not really going to try to explain the challenge to you. I will just tell you, and you've heard it before, and it is a true statement. Um, it will change your life to the better if you let it. But if it defeats you, you might leave a bad taste in your mouth. So, and the challenge will endeavor to make you quit, but don't let it. Don't let it win. Terms and conditions. If you have not already read the terms and conditions, you need to do that. As soon as we're done here, get the terms and conditions and read them. Once you have read them, read them again, please. You can find them on our website. There's several places throughout the website where the terms and conditions are linked. You need to understand that, riding is risky business. Riding long distance adds risk, and you will get fatigued. And fatigue is deadly. Most of our accidents happen because a rider is fatigued. Doesn't matter who you are, your age group, your level of perceived health, your reaction time slows when you are fatigued. So get plenty of rest. Alcohol and drugs, we have zero tolerance. Not going to say any more on that. Read the terms and conditions. Reckless riding, speeding, excessive speeding is considered reckless riding. What do I mean by excessive? If you're in a 55 mile an hour speed zone, you're doing 60 mile an hour, you know what? Pretty much everybody on the planet does that. And as a rule, the troopers will not bother you. But if you're doing 80 in a 55, they're going to run you down and get you a ticket. 80 in a 55 is considered reckless. I think in many states, anything over 20 mile an hour is considered reckless, and it's going to cost you big time. Now, if you do excessive speeding, then U.S. Fleet Tracking is going to ping us. Basically, and they're going to say, rider so-and-so is, doing, 90 in a 50 or whatever the case might be. And we're going to send you a warning through our text message system. If you get 3 warnings, that will eliminate you from any standing to receive any award or recognition at the end of the ride. If you get a ticket for speeding or any traffic violation, you will lose your standing to receive any award or recognition. That does not mean you have to leave the route and go home. Still continue the route. I mean, this is your endeavor. So, just because you get a ticket doesn't mean you have to go home. You have to pay the ticket, though. Okay. Hotels are strenuously discouraged, but will not DQ, disqualify you, or require you to leave the route, or make fun of you. Okay, we might make a little fun of you, but we're not going to make you go home. We're not going to disqualify you from the route, and it's not going to eliminate any recognition. So, just kind of keep that in mind. Many people have health issues, back issues. Sleeping on the ground would not be a good thing for them. It's your own ride. Winners. Crossing the finish line first does not mean you are the winner. This is not a race. Please keep that in mind. Getting there first doesn't mean you're Hoka-Hey. Okay. More on that later. Registration, like I say, there may be a requirement to do appointments during registration. Depends on the restrictions that are in place in August. But these are the things that you must bring. Your a valid license, obviously, plates and registration for your motorcycle, insurance, and you need to have a smartphone that accepts text. And when you're in registration, we're going to send you a text message as a test, just to make sure that everything works. You need to watch your phone. Every time you stop, check your phone for text messages. Doesn't do us any good to send you a text if you don't read your text. Here again, appointments. If you miss your appointment, you might have to go to the end of the line. Keep your appointment. U.S. Fleet Tracking will be tracking us just like they have in past years. If you do not have a unit from U.S. Fleet Tracking as yet, you need to contact them. When you do contact them, mention Hokahe, and they will give you our great Hokahe deal. A third-party GPS will not work. You cannot upload a link from a third-party GPS to U.S. Fleet Tracker's system. So the tracker must come from U.S. Fleet Tracking. Now, as you know, the tracker allows your family and friends to track where you're at, and they watch you in real time. And everybody will be given a link to track. Some of the questions that we've had in the past is what to pack, what not to pack. It's up to you. It really is. You'll see some bikes, usually new riders, their motorcycle looks like the Clampett's old truck rolling into Beverly Hills. I guess you have to be old to know what that's all about, but so the trick here, I guess, is you don't want to you want to have those things that you cannot get anywhere along the highway. Hey, you know what? If you run out of socks and underwear, you can get those anywhere. You have a flat tire and you don't have a repair kit, you know what? You can't get that anywhere. So make sure you've got one of those. Fuel transfer system is a good thing to have. The one on the left is pretty high speed, very cool. I've got one. I've used it a number of times, and it comes in very handy. But if you're the one that needs fuel, and the person that stops has a different type of a connection on their tank, this is going to do you no good. So the one on the right is really the one you want to have, and it's inexpensive. It will use, go for any tank. It's a better system. Like I talked about, the tires. Get yourself a tire repair kit. Have it handy. Now this particular one here, the repair kit itself is great. The pump, not so much. So what I did is I bought a different pump. It's pretty high speed, and this pump will actually pump up to like 60 pounds, which is more than you would ever need. The one that came with the repair kit, about 20 pounds is all I could get out of it. Do not let the flat tire on the side of the road be the first time you use this pump, whatever pump you have. Don't wait till you have a flat tire to test it out for the first time. Most questions can be found on our frequently asked questions section on the website. That link is right there. How to stay safe while sleeping next to your bike. Yeah, you know what? How do you stay safe while you're riding your bike? Situational awareness. If you don't want to be pull over in south side of Little Rock, Arkansas, and sleep on the sidewalk. Okay? Common sense. Some people like to be out of sight. I'm kind of that way. Out of sight, out of mind. Some people like to be under lights. To each his own. Everybody has their own opinion on where to crash out. Talk to the other riders on that, and you get some ideas. Best way to find a place to sleep. Here again, situational awareness. What are you comfortable with? You want to take a tent, sleeping bag, cot, air mattress. You know what? It's up to you. The very first Hokahe I did, I took a tent, a cot, sleeping bag, air mattress. I had it all. I used a tent once. Never used it again. The air mattress, I used the air mattress, but I never took that one again. I took a skinny one, The big one just took too long to air up, and it just really wasn't worth the effort. Don't even think about taking a cot. That's just. I mean, it's up to you. I mean, it's like I said, it is up to you what you take. But some of these things are just wasted time. It took me the time it took me to set up the tent and air up the air mattress. This time I could have been sleeping. So, like I said, I never used it again. But to each his own. There's a good plan there. I think that's John. Actually, he found the perfect place, crashed out. Now, the guy on the right, and I can't remember. This might be. I'm not going to guess who that. I think I know whose bike that was, but I'm not going to say. But that was a great system he had set up there. Worked great. I've kept telling myself I was going to ask him to give me the engineering diagram on that, and I'd make something, but I just never have gotten around to it. How you sleep is up to you. Riding directions. My first challenge, I did a great deal of research. What to take, what not to take, how to do this, how to do that, what was the best camera, recording device, yada, yada. And then when we got ready to leave that morning, they gave me directions, and I'm looking at all these other bikes, and they've got ways to attach the directions. I didn't have nothing. Those are lessons learned there. But you're limited to your imagination. The one on the left, that's the way I kind of did it for a long, long ways. And I sorted out another way of doing it. The guy on the right, he has basically a little. It looks like one of those knee pads that a pilot wears. As a matter of fact, that's what I use now. It's a knee pad that a pilot wears, and it works great. But you need to have some way of attaching the directions so that they're easily seen, easily read, and you don't have to pull over every time to look at your directions. Speaking of directions, on the left, that's kind of a snapshot of what the directions are sort of going to be like. Basically, in this one, the first line there, County Road 463. You're going to go 1/10 of a mile and turn right on Route 451. Go 22 miles on Route 451 and go straight on State Route 345. And in this particular thing, you got Montana-Wyoming state border you're going to cross when you're on 345. You see on the right, there is a regular, street map, state map. If you are not using these things together, you are going to find yourself off route on a regular basis. It's just that simple. Take the directions, pull out the map, trace the directions on the map so you get an idea where you're going. It takes a little bit of time. Let's say it takes you 30 minutes. But it's going to save you getting lost. Not lost. It's going to save you getting off route and wasting an hour, 2, 3, 4, going the wrong direction. If you turn left on US 16 and go 101 mile looking for US 26, but then you realized that you didn't actually turn left, you turned right on to 26. So now you're 101 mile off the opposite direction, or, and it happens, we were wrong on our directions. We try very, very hard to make sure that the directions are perfect, but we're human, and we make mistakes. But if you trace it on the map, then you're less likely to get off route. Some riders will take and put blue tape, like painter's tape, on their bike to keep like magnetic bags from scarring up the tank, or I use it to put it on the chrome so that chrome doesn't glare in my eyes on certain parts of the day. The Hoka Motorcycle Challenge logo. You can use the logo to advertise for your charity, but you need to ask, and we will provide you written permission. And that we're not talking a form that you have to fill out and send to us. Send us an email explaining what you want to, what your charity is, how you want to use the logo, and we'll reply with an email, and that you can use that email. Using the logo and videotaping is a little different story here. So I'm just going to read this, and this is in the terms and conditions. Okay, any video arrangement constructed by you or by an outside agency that will be made available for public viewing, this includes Facebook and YouTube, must have the approval of the Hoka Motorcycle Challenge prior to public release. At no time can compensation be received for any video arrangement without the express written consent from the Hoka Motorcycle Challenge prior to the taping of the video material. And any video you take, you must turn over to Hoka, and we reserve the right to use that as we see fit. Here again, read the terms and conditions very, very carefully. Checkpoints. We're doing things a little bit different this year than previous years. Previous years, the checkpoint would start a 72-hour period where they're open for a contiguous 72 hours when the first riders showed up. The problem with that is second, third, certainly fourth checkpoint, they might open up their 72 hours when that first rider hits, and over the next 3 days, 4 or 5 riders might come in, but the bulk of the riders will miss that 72-hour mark. So we're doing things a little different this year. Each checkpoint has a very specific 3 days they will be open for that contiguous 72 hours. If you're one of those heavy hitters out there and you're getting to that checkpoint, that first checkpoint on day 2, if they are not open, then you have to wait till they open if you need a service. But they will have they will have an ability for you to sign in and get the directions for the next leg if you don't need a service. But if you need a service, you'll need to wait till they open up. And then they will be open for 72 hours for those specific 3 days, and is the intent so that the bulk of the riders can enjoy that 72-hour opportunity. If you need a service at a checkpoint, contact them before you arrive. Let them know what you need. Even if it's just an oil change, let them know so that they can be prepared and ready for you and get you in and out quickly. If you need something other than an oil change or tires, then you certainly need to contact them. And if you need some special type repair, an electrical problem or a fuel problem or something that is not normal maintenance, then hands down you need to contact them beforehand. Let them know. That way, if you do show up during that 72-hour period and you show up at 2 o'clock in the morning, they can have that electrical guy on ground to help you out. Because if you don't let them know, they're just assuming that people need normal services, so they're not going to have their super techs, their electrical guys, their fuel guys. They're going to have their guys that do their services. So contact the checkpoints, let them know what you need before you get there. Okay, some safety tips. Cannot stress enough, you need to hydrate. You need to drink plenty of fluids. Minimize the energy drinks. And obviously by fluids, we're not talking alcohol. 0 tolerance on alcohol. So minimize the energy drinks. They drink plenty of raw water, and usually a Gatorade a day to ensure that you're getting the electrolytes that you need. Now I'm not a doctor, physician, a philosopher or a theologian or anything like that. So I'm just going by experience here, but hydrate, eat right. Uh, you live on gas station hot dogs for a week and a half, and your body's going to be really upset at you, and it's going to revolt. All right, so eat right. It doesn't take an extended amount of period to walk into a restaurant, even a fast food like an Arby's, and get a decent meal, if fast food can be considered decent. Um, but at least once a day, go into a restaurant, spend 30, 45 minutes eating right, relaxing, because trust me, that is going to get your mind right, it's going to get your body right, and it's going to help you in your decision making process, and you're less likely to make a mistake. You're less likely to spend hours going the wrong direction. Speaking from experience here. So, check your phone each time you stop. We've already talked about that. If there are any warnings, cautions, or route changes, that's where you're going to get that information. Also, take pictures every chance you get. Get you a GoPro, mount it on there, and turn it on from time to time. If you're tooling down the highway and you see something that is like, man, that is just awesome, pull over and take a picture. If you don't, you're going to regret it. Now, the only thing I can say about GoPros and gimbals and other whatnots that you've got attached to your bike, every time you stop, get into a habit of cleaning the lens. From time to time, record your expressions, your thoughts, what you're thinking. Here again, from experience, I can tell you, thoughts go through your head, and you'll say to yourself, "Yeah, that's an awesome thought. I need to remember that." You ain't gonna remember it, and you've lost it. So, take notes. Record yourself into your phone, talking about your feelings and your thoughts. You regret it if you don't. It's best to get a minimum 4 hours of contiguous sleep every day. We're not going to ping you if we see you riding hour after hour after hour, but it will cost you. And by cost you, I mean fatigue is going to set in. You're gonna make a wrong turn. You're gonna miss a line on the directions, and you're gonna go left when you should have went right. And trust me, when you go left when you should have go right, is going to be that road that's going to be 100-mile long. So there you've wasted 2 hours, 4 hours, because you got to go turn around and go back. So if you start to hallucinate, stop and sleep. Don't stop and rest. Stop and sleep. And for the new riders, what do you mean by hallucinate? Talk to the old riders. I can tell you stories. I, to my dying day, will believe there are dragons in northern Minnesota. I saw them with my own eyes. Saw them. They're there. Average your miles per day. Don't sprint one day doing 1,000 or 1,200 mile and then coast the next day as you just basically, wasted your time. Set your average, 800 miles a day, 750 miles a day, and try to reach that goal. Try to be consistent. Riding fatigue can be deadly. Like I say, most of our accidents happen because reaction time was slowed because of fatigue. During the ride, maintain contact with your family. They're going to be following you. And if you decide in the middle of the night that you're going to pull over to a little picnic table area on the side of this county road or state route, and you crawl up on a picnic table and take a nap, well, U.S. fleet tracking is going to show your bike sitting at the side of the road, and people are going to think the worst always. The first thing you're going to think is that you arrived at 2 o'clock in the morning and you ran off the road, and now you're laying in a ditch. So contact your family. If you're going to pull over and take a nap, just send a text to your family. Hey, everything's good. I'm on route such and such. I'm going to take a nap. So Challenge is not a race to the finish line. It is a road of discovery. I don't want to be all corny in here, but you're going to find out who you really are. And the bottom line is you might not like who you are once you finish this route. But that's a good thing, because that means that you have a conscience and that you want to change. So, challenge will shock your body, your mind, and your spirit. The tips will help combat the shock, but it will not defeat it. So you need to maintain composure, maintain situational awareness. Make sure that when you get tired, you sleep. Make sure that when you need something to say, you stop and you say it so you can record it. These are all things that's going to help you along. Okay, we've got a lot of questions over here on the right, and I'm going to pull them in. No, I'm not, because there's not really any questions on the right. But yeah, Beth, this is where I will take those questions and add them right here. Well, you can't see where my mouse is. But there in that black, I can pull those questions from the comments section up in here in white letters, and it says who asked the question, and then I can answer the question. So once we do that, we'll go to this last page. Oh, I don't know what I'll say here, but this is the end. If in about 30 minutes from when I close this down, it's going to be it will be available for anybody. So share the link, let everybody know that it's here, and enjoy your ride.